as the current Mr. 69, a former Seattle Mariner, you reached out to him and told him that we wanted to be a part of the Ichiro festivities for his number retirement this past week in Seattle. And they were nice enough to oblige and let us come out there. And I don't know about you, my thought going in was they'd probably give us a press pass so we can watch the game from the press box and give us access so that we can go and say hello to Junior and say hello to Ichiro, your former teammate. I did not think they would do what they did for us. And please tell the story because you are much less excitable than I am. I don't think I'd be able to stop. And Alex, if you have any questions, feel free to pop on and ask.
Yeah, so really quick, if you see me wearing that jacket, that is actually James's jacket because I forgot to bring my jacket. It does look very similar to that, but yeah, there's a great picture of Bones, man. How about that? Anyway, so now I'm reliving it. Oh, Felix, I like it. Fifi. All right. So yes, we heard about Ichiro's number retirement. We know this is going to come, but one of the big things with the Mariners is you don't get your number retired unless you are in the Hall of Fame. So Ichiro obviously gets in the Hall of Fame. Only one voter didn't vote for him in the Hall of Fame, but he gets in the Hall of Fame. So the Mariners now are retiring his number.
Which, by the way, they actually left a seat empty for that one voter who didn't vote for Ichiro in the stadium during the celebration, which was even cooler. Continue.
It's just funny. The Mariners were definitely playing on that, having a great time with it. And then even had a joke that maybe his invitation got lost in the mail. But so we knew this was coming up for a while. Ichiro and I were not only teammates, we were locker mates, which means I had a locker, we had an empty locker between us, and then it was Ichiro's locker. So every day of my Mariner career, the player I was sitting next to was, well, one was Mark Lowe, the other was Ichiro. And we just...
Also known as Balls.
Balls. We hit it off really well. And Ichiro is just an incredible teammate. It was amazing to watch him every day, preparation, getting ready, his routines. It changed my career in routine. I was a routine-oriented baseball player. And to watch him take his routine to another level changed me who I was. And we'd become very close. I have a signed jersey for him, but like during that time, I felt very close to Ichiro. We're not like best friends or anything like that, but it was incredible. And so I go sign a Yankees contract. Ichiro ends up actually coming to the Yankees too. So I was there and spring training with him with the Yankees and got to experience that as well. Moving forward, when we knew this was coming down, I got ahead of it and talked to Tim Heavily, and he said, "Yeah, man, we'll take care of you." And they absolutely did, bringing us onto the field and one in their VIP gala before the whole Hall of Fame thing. So that's where the picture with Ichiro was and Felix and all those guys. It was before the game, and they great kind of meet and greet. And what they did too is all like the fans that were obviously had big parts of his career too. The Ichiro hit counter lady and all these other people had big moments with Ichiro in his career. They were there as well. Obviously all the front office and stuff like that. The ownership group was there. It was just funny because, you know, we saw Franklin Gutierrez was there as well. He was a Gold Glove center fielder with the Mariners. He is a hitting or the outfield instructor for the Mariners as well. And so he's like a roving coordinator. Outside of him, like I was the only guy that wasn't like a Mariners Hall of Famer, and that was a little like, oh, like one of these things is not quite like the others, and I'm there, and it's like obviously like Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, like Felix, Bones is there, Griffey is there, and so you're just like, yeah, kind of stand out a little bit. Alvin Davis, and
Hold on a second. Alex, can you bring up that picture from the screenshot of the television? Because you're sitting there saying, oh, you know, I don't, you know, all these Hall of Famers and, you know, these guys are well known. But, okay, that screenshot, okay, so that's us. We were actually,
that one,
okay.
yeah.
So right next to Franklin Gutierrez, which isn't on the screen, is one of my all-time favorite players, John Olerud, because I'm a Met fan and he was a Mariner before, and I got to talk to him. So we had John Olerud, player, great player of all time. Franklin Gutierrez, amazing center fielder. And by the way, that dude is a pimp, straight up. Like I felt like that guy, that's a good looking dude. He knows how to put that suit together. Then we have David Ardsma. Then we have this schmuck, and then we have the guy in the cowboy hat.
Oh my God. And I'm dying on his name. Like he was a stud. And he was amazing when we were hanging out with him. I'm brain farting right now. But yeah, that
who
schmuck
doesn't
right in the
belong
middle
there? It's literally the first row on the field, and you've got first baseman, center fielder, relief pitcher, schmuck, pitcher.
Yes. And it was it's so great. But
like
they treated us like absolute kings. And then after the ceremony, brought us up to the owner's suite, and we had a great time, drinks and food, and got to hang out and relax and just kind of BS a little bit with the guys. And they got to celebrate Ichiro, and like it was a much smaller, more intimate group. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And I think I have a man crush on somebody, though. I love Jay Buhner now. He's the funniest, nicest dude on the planet. I understand why he's BFFs with Griffey. Doesn't make any sense to me. One's a little bit country, another one's a little bit rock and roll. They make no sense together, but damn it if they aren't perfect.
Oh my God, that was horrible. But yeah, no, what you don't quite realize is like in Seattle, how much Jay Buhner has. Like he's a Mariner, like Mariner for life, and like the impact he has because like, you spend 2 minutes around him, and you're like, I get it. But like you're from another part of the country, if you don't realize, you don't get like Jay Buhner, why there's such a Jay Buhner thing in Seattle. Dude, you can't get rid of him because he's just awesome. He's amazing. And he was a great player, but he's such an incredible person and personality that you just can't, like, you get why the Mariners have him around for everything, because you love him. You spend 2 seconds with him, you're like, I love you, dude.
Yeah, he's just so fun, so energetic, and it's something that I talked about with some friends of mine. Obviously, I went into this thing like you went into this thing. You knew everybody for the most part.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody that you didn't know. I went in there and I didn't know half the guys. There's some people that I knew pretty well from my days in radio and whatnot, but I got this sense because I was there with you and because I'm friends with Junior that these guys just let me in, and they like, how can I say
you're in the club when you're with certain people, you're in the club.
But for example, like, I don't know if I was walking down the street, and maybe I didn't get a good sense of him at all, so tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm walking down the street, I don't think Felix Hernandez would have been as outgoing and kind to me if I wasn't there with you. Not saying that Felix is a bad guy, but he just seems like, to maybe the fans, he might be a little standoffish because, like, oh my God, another guy coming up to me. Jay Buhner, not like that. I got a feeling if you see Jay Buhner on the street, he'll talk to you for 15 minutes, doesn't care. But it was really, really cool to be part of that. Like, oh, I can talk to him. He's not just a normal fan. Buhner, completely different, though. He's like, yeah, bro, what's going on? He reminds me of Billy Wagner in certain ways.
Yeah, in certain ways. Obviously, like, different. Everyone has their own different personalities, their way to look at it and stuff. And Felix, I couldn't imagine the amount of times like people try to get him. I come up to him all the time, but it was just a special environment. But when you're up there and you're in the club, the way you look at it is you're here. You obviously, like, somebody believes you belong in this room, or you belong in this room. We're all good. We're all family in this room. And there's certain, like, even down in the gala, kind of the gala downstairs, the pre-thing, it was a little bit more standoffish because it was like you're bringing all the fans in there too.
Yeah.
A lot of these season ticket holders and stuff, higher level season ticket holders. But then when you go up into the private room, up in the Mariners box, then that's the tiny group, and that's when you realize, like, that's when we're doing toasts, we're doing shots, and we're doing stuff like that, where you realize, like, if you're in this room, you belong in this room, and we're sitting there with the director of the Hall of Fame, and there's people that if you're in that room, like, you're one of us somehow.
Yeah. And it was just so cool to be one of you guys for just a fleeting moment in my life. Like I said, plane crash, I'm cool. I'm out. I'm good. I'm done. All right, let's bring in our producer, Alex, who has a couple of questions. Flip it, Jones.
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
I love it. What's up? You need more camera time on here, brother.
Yeah. I got two questions actually. One of the first question, actually, both of them are probably for James. But James, at what point, like when you were there, did you just have like an overwhelming sense of like emotion? Like I know at some point you were just like, "Wow, this is like ridiculous. I've never experienced anything like this." Like, was it when you guys were sitting on the field? Was it when you guys entered the stadium at the beginning, or at what point? Because I'm sure there was one moment where you just.
It's funny. I didn't really have that moment until we got into the owner's box. I've been in, in the stadiums, I've met a lot of people. So like the whole thing with the luncheon that we had before, the little gala, that was cool. But I've been used to that kind of stuff, being at different events, being on the field was really cool. Don't get me wrong, but I've stepped onto a major league field plenty of times. That was more nerves because I was in the front, but when I was emotional was definitely in the owner's suite, because like you can't buy that kind of access. It's impossible.
Another question for you, James, because you're a collector too. What was the coolest piece of Ichiro memorabilia that you saw there? Did they have anything on display there?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Ards, you can answer that very easily. It was Ichiro's plaque.
Yeah, it was the actual plaque from the Hall of Fame. And so the one that goes to go on the wall, that's one like we got a picture with, and we're just, so that's the pretty cool thing. When they bring the plaque around, it's not a copy. It's the Hall of Fame plaque.
One last question for you guys. What is one thing that you guys can tell the viewers that behind the scenes that you would never see on TV that was just really cool?
The Ardsma took his pants off and was jumping around on top. No. Ards, you answered that one. I'm trying to think about that.
Thing that people want to see, you just don't see, you don't really see the players relax like you do. Like you see them on the field, you see them kind of joking, smile, whatever. They got the suits on, and even when they're relaxed, they're relaxed. But when you get them behind, the first thing Griffey does is take his jacket off, shirts out, and there's like, it's just like, I get to be myself. And you don't get to see it too many times with Ichi, especially in these type of moments, because he still has to be Ichiro, and it's his moment. All the eyes are on him. But when you get to see those guys just take a breath, have a drink, and just go, "What's up?" and just relax, and you that's what you get to see in those moments, is that breath, especially after like the first 30 minutes. Everyone just goes, and slaps each other on the back and goes, "What's up?" And those are the cool little things like that. One of my favorite moments, the whole thing, was getting to see like the old security guards of like that was still there, like down in the bullpen, getting to see Paul down there, and he was up now, and like he was doing the security for the room, and getting to go see some of our fans, Mike Malota, you see Carla, and you get to go see these people that were supporting my career, supporting me and my family. That was some of the cooler moments, like seeing Junior, seeing like Randy, like obviously Ichiro, Felix, Edgar, all my old guys I know, like that's really cool. But then getting to connect with the people that truly like supported me and stuff like that, like as a Mariner, was a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys. That's it.
Yeah. So
James never gave an answer.
I was actually going to say the exact same thing. Just seeing these guys with their hair down, those who did have hair, it was. And speaking of hair, I'm really, really not happy. Ryan Roland Smith, it was good seeing you, brother.
Oh yeah, Ryan. Oh my God, Ryan, my brother-in-law.
Yeah, we got to see David's brother-in-law, who does broadcasting for the Mariners. But the son of a bitch has better hair than me. I'm not happy about this. I was sitting next to you and Buhner, and I'm feeling good. I'm like, I got my good kicks on, my nice J's, and I've got my hair going. And then Ryan's got to come in, and he's got to have that quaff. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
It looked good.
It looked good. You got great hair.
I'm jealous.
But in all honesty, seeing those guys with their hair down, like I've heard Randy Johnson at times can be a little ornery because he's Randy Johnson, and everybody that comes in contact with him wants something from him, wants an autograph, wants a picture. But when I went up to him, he was just like, oh, you belong here? I can be cool to you. So that was just awesome.